Hello friends, I am Professor Waham Khan and today we'll cover another case of our two-phase method for solving the LPP. Now in yesterday's or in last video we have covered this third number case, okay, in which there is no artificial we have covered this second number case in which there is no artificial variable appearing in the basis. So all the artificial variables are removed from the simplex table in the phase 1 itself. Okay, now today we'll see the case number 1 in which the value of minimum W is greater than 0 and at least one artificial variable is appearing in the basis column. Okay, now this case terminates at the end of phase 1 itself, okay, because there is no feasible solution available to this particular problem. So therefore the procedure stops after the end of your phase 1. So all of you know that we perform two-phase method in two different stages, or you can say two different phases. So phase 1 consists of converting your objective function into an auxiliary objective function by summation of all the artificial variables, okay, and then you solve the problem using this new artificial variable and the old constraints, okay, and afterwards in case 2 the solution of case 1, or you can say in phase 2 the solution of phase 1 is used as the starting problem, and then the original problem is solved using the original objective function. Okay, now in this particular video we'll cover this case number 1, where at the end of phase 1 we come across such a kind of case in which minimum W is greater than 0 and at least one artificial variable is present in the basis column with positive level. The positive level, 0 level or negative level of any variable is tallied by using your B column. If B column is having some positive value, that means it is a positive level. If it is having 0 value, then it means 0 level, and if it is having a negative value, that means it is at negative level. So let's see the problem. So the problem given to us is to solve by two-phase method, where the objective is to maximize z 5x1 plus 3x2. So only two variables are given here. Now they are subject to, this objective function is subject to 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 1. So whenever a less than or equal to sign comes, we add a slack variable, okay, and this one is x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 6. That means we'll subtract a surplus variable from it and we'll add artificial variable to this particular constraint. So introducing the first step of this method is set up problem in the standard form and introducing slack, surplus and artificial variables in the particular problem we get. Now we are not adding these variables to our objective function right now because we have to form a new objective function. Therefore we are not adding any kind of surplus, slack or artificial variable to the original objective function. So we are adding it to constraints only. So adding and subtracting, or you can say introducing slack variables, surplus variables and artificial variables to the constraint, we get 2x1 plus x2 plus s1. Since this one is the first constraint, so we are using s1 here. This is the second constraint, so we are subtracting s2 surplus variable from it and we are adding first artificial variable here. If there would have been one more constraint and with greater than or equal to sign, so we would have subtracted another surplus variable and added another artificial variable. Now time is to form your new objective function. So new objective function is nothing but summation of your all artificial variables. So there is only one artificial variable, so therefore your new objective function minimum w will be equal to a1. Okay, so this minimize w equal to a1 is our new objective function. Now using this new objective function and these constraints, we are going to solve this particular problem by using our simplex method. Okay, now the standard form of phase 1 will look like something this. It will have 0x1 plus 0x2 plus s1 plus s2 plus, sorry, this is to be corrected here, so it will be s1, this will be your s2, and this term will not be available here because we are only dealing with two variables. Okay, so it is subject to the original, the new artificial variable is subject to 2x1 plus x2 plus s1 plus 0s2 plus 0 a1 equal to 1. Okay, and second constraint is x1 plus 4x2 plus 0 s1, since s1 is not present in second constraint, minus s2 because it is subtracted, plus a1 equal to 6. So this is your problem now, and this problem is to be solved by using simplex method. Now so as to solve it, first of all we have to find the initial basic feasible solution, and in finding initial basic feasible solution, you put some variables equal to 0. So if you put x1 and x2 equal to 0, you will get the value of s1. If you put x1, x2 and s2 equal to 0, you will get the value of a1. So putting x1, x2 and s2 equal to 0 will get the value of s1 and a1. So there will be only two basic variables starting in the table, so s1 and a1. So we'll find we'll put x1, x2 and s2 equal to 0, and we'll find value of s1, it is equal to 6, a1 it is equal to, sorry, s1 equal to 1 and a1 equal to 6. Okay, so the next step is converting these constraints and putting these values into a simplex table. So simplex table will be like this: x1, x2, s1, s2 and a1. Now here s1 and a1 are basic variables here at the start, so you can put s2 in non-basic variables and you can put s1 in basic variables, means you can swap the columns also, but you can keep this way also, it is no problem for it. But for you can say grammar of this or for the logic of this table, you can put s2 here and s1 here. Okay, and you can also perform like this. Okay, so now we have formed the table. We have all the variables present here, b here, theta here, as well as we have all the basic variables here, that means basis. So s1 and a1, the respective values of s1 and a1 will be put here, the respective coefficients of s1 and a1 will be put here, the respective coefficients of x1, x2, s1, s2, a1 for constraint number 1 will be put here, for constraint number 2 will be put here, then zj will be computed and cj minus zj will be computed. On the basis of cj minus zj, will say whether this solution is optimal or not. So performing it, first of all I'll write the values of constraint in this table. So the coefficients of constraint number 1 are 2, 1, 1 for x1, x2 and s1. The rest is 0 and it is equal to 1, so therefore is 1 here. The constraint number 2 is having coefficients 1, 4, 0, -1 and 1 for A1, and it is equal to 6, therefore putting 6 here. And the coefficients of A1 and S1 are written here. These coefficients are to be taken from the objective function coefficients. Okay, now finding Zj. Zj is nothing but Cb multiplied by Aij plus Cb multiplied by Aij. So 0 multiplied by 2, 0, 1 multiplied by 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Here it will be 0 plus 4. So 4. Here it will be 0. Here it will be -1. Here it will be 1, and here it will be 6. Okay, so writing Zj. Similarly, computing Cj minus Zj, we come across these values of Cj minus Zj. Since this is a minimization problem, all the values has to be 0 or positive. That means there should not be any negative values, and we see that there are 2 negative values present here. Therefore, selecting the most negative value. Always remember that your problem, whether it is of maximization, whether it is of minimization, the new artificial objective function is always of minimization type. So you will always solve this phase 1 for minimization type. Okay, so most negative is -4, so selecting this row, that means this is your key, selecting this column, this is your key column. Key column is having x2 variable, so that means x2 is your incoming variable. Barabar, it will enter and will select outgoing variable by using this theta. Theta is nothing but your b divided by the key column. So 1 divided by 1, 6 divided by 4, it will be equal to 3 by 2, and it will be equal to 1. So out of these two, selecting the least positive, so the least positive is 1. So this one, this row will be your key row, this will be your key element. So key element already is unity. Now here x2 is your entering variable, s1 is your leaving variable. S1 will leave the basis column. Now this S1 will be replaced by x2 in the next table. This particular key element is already unity, so no need to make it unity by dividing anything, but this 4 is to be converted into 0. Therefore subtracting it from 4 will make it 0. So therefore we'll use one row operation, that is your A1 changes to A1 minus 4 S1. That will make this particular element 0. This will make the particular element 0, and the rest of the values will also be computed from this row operation. So here it will become 4. You are doing like this, A1 minus 4 S1, right? So this will be 1 minus 8, so here it will be -7. So 0 minus 4, it will make it 4. This will be -1, 0, so it will be -1 as it is. Here it will be 1 as it is. Here it will become 6 minus 4, so it will be +2. So this is the first initial basic feasible solution for phase 1. Now we are going to find the second solution by iterating towards optimality. So the rest of the things are same. x2 is replaced, s1 is replaced by x2, so therefore writing x2 here, writing coefficient of x2 here, and writing the new row here. So there is no need to divide 1 by anything because it is already unity, so the whole row will be same. Okay, now the next row will get changed because this has to be made 0, so we have changed this particular row. Now we'll find Zj is nothing but this into this plus this into this, so it comes around like this, Zj. Then finding Cj minus Zj. To find Cj minus Zj, you just subtract Zj from the Cj, so 0 minus 7 plus minus plus 7, so it becomes 7. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 there is some change here, that this is 4 and this is 1, so the values are swapped here. So this will be 4 and this will be 1. Okay, so when this will be 4 and this will be 1 here. Okay, so 0 minus plus 1. So when you see Cj minus Zj, all the values are either 0 or positive. All the values are either 0 or positive. Therefore, this solution is optimal solution for phase 1. This is the optimal basic feasible solution for phase 1, and this can be used as the starting solution for phase 2 if there is no artificial variable in the basis column and the minimum W is equal to 0. So if there is no artificial variable in it, it means that the value of minimum W is equal to A1 is already 0. But here in this particular case, A1 is present here in the basis column and A1 is having a positive value here. It is equal to A2. So this comes under your case number 1. Under basis there is artificial variable, and that artificial variable is at positive level, which is greater than 0. So since Cj minus Zj are either positive or 0, but this is an optimal solution for phase 1, but this cannot be an optimal solution because your basis column is having an artificial variable with a positive value in B column. That means this problem cannot have, or it will not have any kind of feasible solution in coming step. Therefore, the procedure itself stops here and the problem is over here. So you have to pay attention here also if you are solving it. If you come across such a kind of conditions, then please remember that this, if A1, there should not be any artificial variable present in the basis column. That is our first target. If it is not possible, the solution becomes optimal, but there is an artificial variable present in it, then it should be at 0 level, means here should be 0. Okay, so the problem can be solved in next method, and if that is also not possible, then such a kind of condition will occur where basis column will have one or more artificial variables and they will be at a positive level. Okay, so such a kind of problem terminates itself here in phase 1 and you do not need to enter into phase 2. So that is about your today's video, and thanks for watching it. Please ignore the corrections. Stay safe, stay home, keep learning, and please stay healthy. Thank you.